David. David.
He's falling in a beautiful swirling pattern.
David.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is David Wells, and this is the David Wells Experiment. So I had an interesting day. What did I do? I had some work on my house that needed to be done, and it was the kind where I had to have my pets taken, where they couldn't be here. Anyway, what happened? Yeah, it was a big thing. We've got like several pets at my place, and not all of them are mine. Anyway, it took 2 vehicles to get them out of here. Anyway, so I was in a car, and there were 2 dogs in it, and there was a cat up front. And she's like an indoor-outdoor cat, but we didn't want to risk her coming by the house and accidentally getting hurt. So what we decided to do was we put her in a little kennel that we could take with us, and she was kind of freaking out. And what else happened? Yeah, we went over to a friend's house, and halfway there, she had to go, and there was a mess. So anyway, we stopped by a Petco or PetSmart, I forget which one, and we get a new kennel, and it was an exercise to try to make sure she didn't just run off. So what happens is we put a leash on her, and we clean her up, and she was not having fun. It was kind of next to like a highway, the store, and we were fine with it because we're people, but her with her heightened senses, it was like an ordeal, but we had to do it, and I felt so bad for her. But anyway, we got her cleaned up, got her in the new kennel, and she started to calm down. And what happened next? So we get to the place, and it's still hot. But the place we went to, there was another cat there who was also an indoor-outdoor cat, and we nicknamed her Peaches because she looked kind of peach-colored. So that was fun. And I had wanted to do a podcast earlier, but it kind of didn't work out. Just things kept happening. One bright spot was I looked at a video game. Believe it or not, and I think I've said this before, but just in case, I made a video game. It started in 2018. I went back to it on and off through the years, and I think that I finished it sometime last year, or I added the finishing touches. And it's a pretty inelegant game, but anyway, it's rough, but at the same time, it does what I set out for it to do. It was basically just a knockoff of Mario Brothers and Mega Man. And I showed it to my sister, and she was Like, oh wow, that's awesome. It even looks like a game you would make. Oh, funny thing, yeah, I was showing somebody this movie called um Ju-on, White Ghost, which is like one of the Japanese versions of The Grudge, one of its sequels. And I showed this person that movie and like, man, you could have directed this. And it felt sort of like a backhanded compliment, like saying, oh man, this movie looks so bad that it looks like it's on your skill level. And on the one hand, I sort of felt a bit insulted. But at the same time, sort of like, that's awesome. Because, yeah, it was just funny. Part of me thinks I should have been offended, but at the same time, not. Anyway, I thought about, I think when I make a video game this time, um, I want it to be a little more elegant looking. So, yeah. I need to do something interesting. What else happened? I guess it wasn't such an eventful day. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Um, I was thinking I just need to make something per usual. I've kept up this momentum and let's see what the, I think the amount of listeners has gone up somewhat on my podcast. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And all I can do is think to make things. And I feel like I'm becoming a broken record, but I feel like there's like, even if it's just saying random nonsense like wickety bipple, um, I've got to make a podcast. I have to keep going because if I lose momentum, you know, that's really hard to get back. I feel like I had some more elegant things to say earlier, and maybe I should have done my podcast then versus now, but you know, missed that window, but I'm still gonna make something. Cause like I'm kind of feeling like I'm getting back to the whole movie making thing. It's like if I can just do this enough. And oh, I guess one thing when I was doodling around on video games earlier, um, I use an engine called GDevelop, and they have games that other people have made that you can play. And there was this one game made that was really clever. It kind of felt like a throwback to the single screen games um, of like the pre NES. I mean, I know that NES didn't invent side scrolling. I think that went to Pac-Man World, which I believe was on the ColecoVision. I think I might have gotten that wrong, but it's one of those things that's hard to remember so precisely. But I was impressed by how difficult it was. What else? Oh yeah. I played a shooter game, and that was cool. I did not see a lot of RPGs on that site, but I was also starting to play a visual novel game, and that was interesting. I don't think I've ever played one of those. I had that feeling and like that impulse of I kind of wish I could just go shoot something. But I haven't really shot something that I kind of believe in. Like, I had one project that I was working on, and it was about a guardian angel who gets depressed and maybe wants to call it quits. But anyway, the script I was writing it down in long form. The notebook that had been written on was in my Kia when my Kia got stolen. So I don't know where that script is, and that was really depressing because like I liked the material. Anyway, oh, I saw that movie No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence in it. It was good. Definitely a movie for the intended age group. So hire a babysitter for that one. But it's one of those like sort of adult comedies that you used to see every summer or every so often. And they still make those kinds of movies, but those kinds of movies of late have not felt like they earned the laughs. This one did, however. This totally feels like um, one of those movies that delivers, that comes out in like 2008, and you know everybody's uncle has a copy of it and is like, oh man, I love that movie. So I enjoyed it, and Jennifer Lawrence was hysterical in that movie. The kid she played opposite of, I say kid, he's like 19 or 22. But seeing Matthew Broderick old is like so character is great. Seeing Matthew Broderick old is like so weird. I mean, I think we all think of him as like, Ferris Bueller still, even though he's like, I think in his 60s or something. But anyway, it was a good movie. And I think I might mess around on the game engine again. Um, I really need to get on making the video for my grandpa's funeral. Like, I just need to commit to that. Um, and I gave myself some leeway, saying like maybe I'll do multiple versions. But yeah, funny thing was the day we the day we had his funeral, we get to the fort. We get to the. I feel terrible for not remembering the name of the place, but we get to the funeral grounds, and it's a couple minutes before um, the ceremony begins, and one of my uncles says he's very stern in telling me like, you better get the 20-man armed salute or firing squad salute. I apologies if I got the title of that um, procedure wrong, but yeah. So he told me he was very stern, like with like, I guess from his point of view, like he didn't think I could get it done, but at the same time, I thought, oh, that's cute. He doesn't know how often I do this, or he has a total absence of my level of skill. It was kind of like I had this feeling like you really don't know who I am, or like how good I am at what I do. I didn't say that, but I thought that, like, he doesn't know. But anyway, to his credit, afterwards, um, he saw, when he saw how I went about doing it, he pulled me over and he had seen no footage at all, but he complimented and commended me on like how I shot it. He's like, because apparently this was news to me up until the day of the ceremony. Apparently he used to do video stuff, which I didn't know, and he only switched to computer stuff when he found out he could make more money. But yeah, so that was interesting. I do need to get on making that video. And I've really tried to study 3D animation. That's been something I've had in the pipeline for forever. And I need to get on that. And I think I've said that before, but I spent a good amount of time studying, watching videos to try to learn how to do this. I'm kind of doing that because I feel like one of the things that always kills my enthusiasm is watching a video and then trying to do what it's saying on the computer. And it makes going through the video take that much longer. And it's like just making an already long video feel longer kills my enthusiasm. And it's one of those things where I've got ideas for stories that I want to tell, and not knowing CG animation has caused me to hit a roadblock. Oh, I got to show, I showed my sister the trailer for that new movie Wonka, which has Timothy Chalamet play Willy Wonka. And at the very end, he sees an Oompa Loompa, and it's Hugh Grant. And she just looks to me and she's like, "Is that who I think it is?" I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "That's amazing." And I've been getting a steady increase of followers on Instagram lately, so that's cool. I don't know why that's been happening. But anyway, well, this has been the David Wells Experiment. Have an absolutely super day. Hope all your dreams come true. And I will see you next time. Bye.